A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is the 22nd June 2023, Thursday class. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, Straight from the Heart, Unique Dhamma Code by me. Let us compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya, and mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิDutiampi Bhutang Saranang Gacchami Dutiampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiampi Bhutang Saranang Gacchami Tatiampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adina Dana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Padipa Puja Ganna Sarapa Dipena Dipena Tamatang Sina Tiloka Dipang Sambuddhang Pujayami Tamonodang Ganda Sambara Yutena Rupena Hang Sugang Hina Pujaya Pujaniyang Tang Puja Bhajana Muttamang Vanna Ganda Guno Petang Etang Kesuma Santatin Pujayami Monindasa Siri Pada Sarorohe Pujemi Bhutang Kasumena Nena Punnena Matena Cha Mokang ละยติยตาอิดังเมกายโยตถายติวินาสภาวังอาดิวาเสตุโนบันเทปานิยังปริคาปิตังอานุคัมปังอุปาดายะปาติกันหาตุมุตตมังอาดิวาเสตุโนบันเตปาเลปริคาปิตังอานุคัมปังอุปาดายะปาติกันหาตุมุตตมังอาดิวาเสตุโนบันเตโภชนังปริคาปิตังอานุกัมปังอุปาดายะปาติกันหาตุมุตตมัง Now we will chant our Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May my morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the bond-free Nibbana, making of overall aspiration. By the power of these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. Sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Padang Pujayami. Dhammang Pujayami. Sanghang Pujayami. For those who are already familiar, develop the ability to stabilize your mind, the inner awareness, then you can do the fourth support. You just relax body and mind, maintain attention, stay at the heart area. And whatever you can detect, your heartbeat or any vibration within your heart area, you just silence your mind, stay there, maintain awareness. Whatever arises, just aware. Means you anchor it to your heartbeat, the awareness and the heartbeat move as one. You cannot detect the heartbeat and any vibration nearby or around the area. You just stay there. Allow the mind to settle down. become very quiet and very still. Yeah. Then for those who still need to train their mind, you remember the first three support. Relax completely, body and mind. Feel yourself at ease, completely, soothingly relaxed. Then maintain some form of awareness and allow it to settle down. Whatever arises, away, finish, away, finish. Then allow this awareness to settle down, to stabilize, until finally the whole mind becomes very quiet, very still, no more thinking. There is just the awareness of the contact, that's all. Away, finish, away, finish. Just do this. Allow the awareness nature within to stabilize. Once it stabilizes, you will go through a few transformations. The shift of consciousness may happen. Suddenly, like your mind becomes very quiet. There's a sudden shift. Your consciousness becomes very quiet, very still. And everything like become very quiet, very still. You will go through all those. You can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the mind states that you need to stabilize the meditative mind so that you can be heedful in the midst of life. So the training of the mind to be aware is to develop sati, mindfulness. And when it stabilizes, it becomes ever mindful. So the mind that is aware or ever mindful is without thought. That's why that one is just sati, before the knowing. But the movement of thought from there is very fast. So if you want to understand life, you have to develop the stability of it so that in the midst of life, when you are mindful, aware, you can follow what is going on within life and nature. Then you develop understanding of the reality that arises and move within nature. Then when you observe all these phenomena long enough, you will develop the understanding of its movement. Then you will also come to realize that they follow the essential Dhamma as taught by the Buddha. Then you start to understand clearly who are you, what are you, and how you function as a human being, how your senses operate, how the mundane mind arises and passes away, following the Paticca Samuppada, the 12 links, the law of dependent origination. Then when you see this, you start to understand clearly nature has its own sets of nature's law that manifests following this law. They call it the law of mind, how our mundane mind functions. And this mind, it has its characteristic because it is within the conditioned world. Everything that arises and passes away is dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. And because of that, you will come to realize they are impermanent, not a permanent and changing entity that you can cling onto, grasp onto, hold onto and say, this is me, this is I. In fact, the whole of the human being, the five aggregate of form and mind, they all develop the same characteristics. That's why these three universal characteristics, they are universal characteristics that are common to all phenomena. May it be physical, mental, or nature's phenomena, they exhibit them. The first characteristic is anicca or impermanence, because they arise due to condition. When condition manifests, they continue to sustain themselves. And when condition comes to pass, they cease to be. As you become more and more adept to observing all this, you start to see the universal characteristic clearly. From all this movement, you develop wisdom. Then your mind also same. Not only the physical phenomena, mental phenomena, they also move that way. And all of these physical, mental, and nature's phenomena, because they are dependent originating, condition arising, cause of phenomena, they continuously move following condition. That's why it's in a state of flux. We call it ever-changing, ever-moving. That's why the word impermanent, the Mandarin word, is wu chang. It doesn't stay the same, wu chang. Then, because they follow nature's law, if you want things your way, which is not nature's way, what happened? Suffering will arise. Yeah, this is the reality. This is the nature's law that governs life and existence. They operate this way, they move this way. It cannot be otherwise. Like the Buddha said, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. So when the causes and conditions is established, things will flow that way. That's why from the ability to insight into phenomena, to realize the first universal characteristics of impermanence, you will come to know naturally the second universal characteristics of suffering. Because when you attach, cling, grasp, and hold on to without understanding, when you want things your way, which is not nature's way, you suffer. And because it is impermanent and it tends towards suffering, then how can you say this is me, this is I? It's definitely delusion. So you will see clearly the Sakaya Ditti behind self-delusion. So this Sakaya Ditti is what the Buddha wants us to awaken to. The Buddha called it self-delusion. You are deluded by what you see, believing that is you, is a permanent, unchanging entity you can hold on to, cling on to, grasp on to, and believe this is me. Always real, pertaining to you, belonging to you. But then when you observe it through mindfulness, awareness, different things arise. So this is what awareness-based meditation is all about. When you can meditate that way, you silence your mind, then you can see things as they are. You can insight into phenomena to awaken to the universal characteristic. Then your wisdom comes about. And when your wisdom comes about, you're no longer deluded. Then the phenomenal world of consciousness, phenomenal world of form, whether physical, mental, or nature's phenomena, they have no power over you. They lose us to delude you and condition you into negativity, suffering, misery, or affliction. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe in their entirety, let the deities come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atraha Kacantu Devata Saddhamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadam Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang sama sambuddho Vicha charana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusana Do Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pajatang Veditago Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujjupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidam Chatari Purisa Yukhani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you all can be seated. Then we shall continue from where we stopped. I think we are at the unique Dhamma code number 76. To meditate is not to create more thought. This one is most important understanding. As we all know, awareness-based meditation is to develop the inner awareness. So when you have awareness, you are without thought. So that is what awareness-based meditation is. Not to use the thought to note, to meditate, to create more thinking, more verbalization, more chattering. That is not meditation. That is following a series of instructions to do things. And that one, the thought is involved. Thought is active. So when thought is active, how can you be aware? Then like I have always explained to you all, as a human being, we can only do one thing at a time. Either we are silent, completely silent, or just aware without thought, so that we can be mindful of what is going on within nature, within the moment. If you are not aware, then the other possibility is you are lost in thought, thinking, heedlessly thinking, planning, mentally verbalizing, chattering, becoming heedless. So what happens is when you are lost in thought, you are preoccupied with your thought process. And because you have this brain with the memory, the views, the opinion, and the conditioning, the belief system, the phobia, the insecurity, everything you accumulate there, your experiences, your whatever belief system, conditioning. So all this will cause you to react to what you think, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactily feel. So your senses, when you are lost in thought, create thinking, create sankara activity. Then from your views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, you stir your mind. You cause your mind to move. So that movement is what heedless thinking is all about. So without the spiritual faculty, the mental hindrance take over. You have sensual desire to cling or grasp at sensual things. They call it positive craving, your like, your pleasant sense experience. Then when you don't like that thing, your unpleasant negative emotion or dislike, they are your ill will or evil roots of anger, hatred, negative emotion, even envy, jealousy, they are all part of it. So this movement is very active. So when you are preoccupied with your thinking, then when you have all these mental states, emotions stirring and reacting, then how can you be aware? How can you understand what is going on in life within nature? You cannot observe, you cannot see. You are preoccupied with the thought process, the emotion, the reaction, the stirring. Then sometimes your fear, your worry, your anxiety, your sorrow, your lamentation, your insecurity. So all this affects you. Then when you are preoccupied with all this, you become heedless. You are completely lost in thought. You are being like completely engulfed by the thinking, by the emotion, by the stirring of the mind. So a person who does this very often develop what they call habitual tendency. All this thought activity and movement become habitual. So our intent to develop the meditation is to train our mind not to allow all this activity to go on. But most people don't understand all this because they didn't have the mindfulness to observe all this and see all this. They were told or they only know that to meditate you must develop the inner peace, the inner calmness, the inner tranquility, stillness, the good meditative mind. So they chase after that. And how to develop that? They come out with method, technique to meditate. So when you come out with method and technique to meditate, you create more verbalization. All these methods and technique and even object of meditation, they need instruction to do things. So all these instructions create more thinking, more verbalization, more chattering within. You are not completely silent away. That's why sati is very important. Sati is mindfulness, awareness before the knowing, before the arising of thought. So this is the reason why under this code, unique code 76, I mentioned very clearly, to meditate is not to create more thought. Means what? Don't verbalize. Don't allow the mind to continue its mental proliferation, mental thinking, stirring, reaction. So all this become clear, obvious. So how can you not allow it to arise? Because you were not aware during the day. Most of the time, living beings, when they live their life, they are heedless. There is no order. Krishnamurti called it disorder. They live a life of disorder. Disorder means like a country when there is no law and order to maintain order. What happens? There will be a lot of problems, chaos, suffering, misery. When society don't have order, law and order to manage, there is no harmony. There will be rampant, what they call killing, fighting, and disorder, riots or whatever. So understanding all this is very important. To have order means we must understand the nature's law that governs life and existence. If we don't violate them, then we are able to develop the inner peace, the inner calmness. Then there is order within our form and mind, our thought process. Then we don't simply stir our mind, create negative habitual reaction to sense experience. Then we learn to develop wisdom. We are seeing things as they are. We are understanding. Then we act with understanding, following the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the Buddhist teaching as taught by the Buddha. Instead of acting according to memory, which is full of all those emotion, negativity, when you act according to memory, you are acting according to all your greed, hatred, delusion, accumulated memory of phobia, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation. So, when you act following your views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, that is not the truth. That is not the reality. That is your own delusion. So acting according to memory is not acting at all. That's why J. Krishnamurti saw all this. But he didn't explain and elaborate. He just quoted that phrase or that phrase. So when we start to understand all this, we start to develop clear understanding of what is meditation. First is not to create more thought. So how can we do it? We can go and investigate, like the Buddha said. You can go and investigate, then you will come to know what is popularly accepted by society is they teach you all the method, technique, and object of meditation to meditate. There is what they call a system of technique and what they call a system of technique to meditate. So Method is the same, means the various method that people use. All this involve the thought process. So you approach it from this so-called meditation, then you will clearly not realize the truth that is beyond thought, beyond mind. The Dhamma that is akaliko, the timeless Dhamma. So Dhamma that is beyond thought, beyond mind, is definitely not thought-based. You cannot use the instrument of thought to meditate. Yeah, when you use the instrument limits you. So this understanding is very important. I've been explaining all this, but today I want to make use of this quote, yeah, to go into the understanding more broadly, so that the scope of it can be understood more clearly. Understanding this and seeing this will allow you to develop the wisdom to transform, so that you won't waste your time, you will not be misled. Yeah. So to meditate is not to create more thought. If you don't create more thought, then how do you meditate? That's why I say, don't do anything. Don't try to know. Don't try to do. Because the knowing and the doing is always by the thought. But how can a human being with a form and mind don't do anything? Understand? Because this mundane mind, they keep on arising. That's why a human being, living being, is a creature of thought. Before you develop the understanding that you have another nature within that is beyond thought, beyond mind. And that nature within is what your true mind is all about. The purpose of developing this awareness-based meditation is to realize that true mind, the awareness nature within. Then to see clearly how from this nature all the mundane thinking arises, the mundane mind, mano. And this is the phenomenal world of consciousness. This is what thought is all about, the five aggregate of form and mind. And this is where the Buddha actually focused the teaching on. But all the sutta and even the Tipitaka, hardly anybody can understand this and explain it the way it's supposed to be. So what has been passed now is the typical, what they call teaching, the very normally accepted kind of teaching, which is thought-based, knowledge-based, and very scholarly introduced. So knowledge-based Dhamma or scholarly Dhamma, initially when you learn it, it can give you some form of knowledge, but that one is not wisdom. That one is not born of the silent mind, the sati, the mindfulness, the awareness, that can see things as they are and awaken to the truth, to realize the wisdom. That type of mind, the thinking mind, cannot insight into phenomena and awaken to the three universal characteristics. That's why the whole of meditation, you have to reverse it from thought-based to awareness-based. There's a reason why, for the past so many years, my sharing is trying to introduce this awareness-based meditation to let you understand clearly what awareness is. Awareness is your true mind. When you are with your true mind without thought, you are just aware, not thinking. That's why the four support to develop awareness-based meditation will become clear to you now. What I want you to understand is not to think, not to do. If you don't think and don't do, then what you do? And that's why I use the word relax. Relax means be at ease, not to think. Relax what? The physical body. Whatever tension, stress, or tightness that you feel within your physical body, you relax it like a yoga practitioner. When you do your yoga, the first thing they teach you is yoga relaxation. Relax so that you become very flexible, so that the chi can flow, so that nothing block you. Then after that, you have to relax your mind. The mind that is not relaxed hold on to a lot of things. Your worry, your phobia, your anxiety, your sorrow, your lamentation, your dislike, your unhappiness, your envy, your jealousy, your hatred, or your craving, desire. All these are mental states that actually make your mind stressful. Especially fear, worry, anxiety. Fear, worry, and anxiety. Of course, sorrow and lamentation is worse. Then sometimes when you are excited, it's also a very, what they call, agitated mind. The excitement and all those things make your mind agitated. Then that fear, worry, anxiety create restlessness of mind. That's why the mental hindrance the Buddha identified, they are all your negativity or mind states. They are called mental hindrance because they hinders your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness. And because of that, you cannot develop the spiritual faculty to be in the meditative state, to be just aware, relaxed, aware. So the first support is relax, then aware. When you can do that, the mental hindrance will not arise. But to have the ability to do that, you must really cultivate the 5 spiritual faculty. Where these are spiritual faculty that can allow you to have the meditative state, to understand spiritual teachings, to develop the meditative understanding, the awakening. So that is where you're supposed to understand and start. So relaxation is number 1. To relax body, easy, I say at ease. Relax mind is not to think. The more you think, you are more restless. When you want to stop thinking, you become more restless. Then thought become more active. Because that one thing is a craving force that drives the thinking. When you want to push that thinking away, it's also a resistance, and there is energy. When you resist, it creates repercussion. When you resist thinking, thinking becomes more rampant. When you are like lost in thought, engaged in all the heedless thinking, means you develop the heedless craving to think. And all this develop the thinking more and more until your what they call mundane mind becomes so active you cannot stop thinking. This is what heedlessness is. This is what restlessness of mind is. The fear, worry, anxiety, the pressure, the stress, everything creates insistent thinking. People who are depressed, say, the cocoon of thought, keep on moving in the same direction, torment you, causing suffering and misery and affliction in the person who go through depression. These are people who have mental problems. So to reverse all this is very easy when you understand. Why do you think? The Buddha said, the first 2 links of the Paticca Samuppada, Avijja Paccaya Sankhara, Sankara is thinking, mental activity. Avijja is ignorant. When you don't understand, when you are deluded, full of ignorance, when you have sakkaya, self-delusion, you think. And that movement is very, very fast and it's like unstoppable. That's why to meditate is to reverse all this through an understanding. So the four support now will become clear to you. Relax body and mind. To relax the mind means not to think. Everything is not what you think, like the Buddha said. Sankhara anicca, sankhara dukkha, Dhamma anatta. Means they are impermanent, the thought, they arise and they pass away, they come and go. You attach, cling, grasp and hold, give meaning, it causes you suffering, tormenting. Realize this, understand this. And because it's impermanent, brings about suffering, how can you cling on to it and hold on to it and say, this is me, this is I, therefore all these are mine. That's why you will see the characteristics of impermanence leading to suffering and finally end up as non-self. The unreality of the thought process means empty nature existence. Whatever arises, they will finally come to pass. The arising and passing away of thought is what the phenomenal world of consciousness is all about. If they continue to move that way, following nature's law, then there is no reality. That's why we call it empty nature. Think also like that, don't think also like that. Through delusion, we grasp, we give identity, we label, we think all living beings exist, everything exists like real. But ultimately, what is the teaching? They are all not real, empty, not what you think. Because they become real through the thought. The thought creates the reality, which is an illusion. Because of the universal characteristics. So see this. Then when you understand this, then you will not think. If you think also like that, don't think also like that. But you have to understand there is such thing as life. And to live life, you must use thought. That's why in the teaching, you must understand all this so that you can arise the right thought. Not the deluded thought, the wrong thought. So what is right thought? Based on right view, right understanding. So thought actually has its purpose. When you understand this, you will come to understand the use of thought is very important. So without wisdom, without enlightenment, awakening, you use thought. Thought is definitely wrong thought, deluded thought. Because the user of thought don't have that wisdom and understanding. So unless you meditate and develop the insight, the wisdom, the awakening, then you can apply this wisdom to arise the right thought. Then only you have the understanding of what life is. Then you can act according to wisdom, no longer act according to memory. So this is what you need to understand. Then you will understand why the four support is very important. Relax, maintain awareness. Both these movement got no thought process. To relax, you don't have to think. Sure. Then maintain awareness means whatever arises, aware, finish. Then let the mind settle down. Then third support is stabilize this awareness until the awareness nature become very, very stable. Until you are most of the time with this awareness nature, which is with your true mind. That's why you must meditate with a true mind. You cannot meditate with a thought. So without this awareness developed, especially the daily mindfulness, the inner awareness, you cannot meditate. You are wasting your time. So first and foremost, don't waste your time on all the other thought-based method, technique, all those things, knowledge-based. You develop the stability of awareness to realize your true mind. The first hallmark of reading, 无念，无念的境界。The state of no thought means this is your true mind, your silent mind, your inner awareness nature, without thought. And that nature is so beautiful. That is the one that can insight into phenomena, awaken, realize the truth, observe and understand. So relax, aware, stabilizing the awareness, then finally developing the meditative training to awaken. So initially with the first three support, you can already realize the sainthood way, all the way leading to arahantaship. Means the first stage of sainthood, sotapanaship, sakadagami, second stage of sainthood, anagami, third stage of sainthood, and finally is arahantaship. So this sainthood way, you only need the first three support. But when your training becomes so stable, until you are most of the time aware within, without thought, means you are heedful, ever mindful, constantly meditative inside. When you have this heedfulness developed, then you can go for the fourth support. The fourth support, normal people no need to do. You only have to develop it when you want to go the Bodhisattva way, to realize your inner nature, to locate the gateway to your nature, to realize that cessation. Then you understand more and more about that nature, the awareness nature leading to that source, which we call it our true nature, or the source of all things. Or sometimes they use other word, your Buddha nature, or your true nature. So all these are the various type of words to describe what that thing is. So when you have this ability, then you silence your mind, stay at the heart area, then develop the fourth support, which is trust. Trust here means Trust. Trust your nature to do the meditative movement. No more thought-based. No more allowing your memory, your thought, your belief system, your conditioning to come and interfere with the meditation. No more thought directing the meditation. No more. All the thought-based completely stop. Then relax, maintain awareness. By then you will have that stability. Stay at the heart area. Heart area. Then don't do anything. Let this nature move. This nature will detect on its own. When you have the stability of awareness, it will detect on its own. Especially your heartbeat, or whatever vibration around your heart. Wherever you locate this awareness, it becomes very sensitive. It can detect a lot of things. Then you can move it around. If you want to experiment with it, you can. This one becomes very sensitive because it's fully aware without thought. When it's just aware without thought, you are really sensitive. Especially at night, when you want to listen to something very clearly, what happens? You shut out all your other senses and the sun up. You don't want to create any thinking. You just aware inside that. That awareness is your true mind. That is the one that is very sensitive. But when there is a lot of noise impinging on your hearing, then your mental activity, restless, think a lot, worry here and there, all this mundane thinking, they will actually prevent you from being sensitive. Because you're preoccupied with what you think, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactily feel and think, all your worry, your anxiety, all this, you are caught, trapped. That's why they say you become afflicted by your thinking mind. So when you are preoccupied with all this, you don't have space. You cannot move. You look at the whiteboard. After I rub off most of the thing, there is space in it. Your brain should be the same. If your brain has a lot of rubbish collected and you held on to it through your thought process, then you develop suffering. You hardly have any awareness within to be aware, to be free from the entanglement of the thought process, the sankhara activity. These are grasping aggregate. That's why the whole lot of sankhara, before you become enlightened, they are grasping aggregate. You are grasp and cling to everything that sankhara create inside there. That's why the whole phenomenal world of consciousness and form become like real to you. You become gullible. You become attracted to it. And when you are deluded, this thing become like very real. Phenomenal world of consciousness and form, the external form, they become like very real. Because you are preoccupied with the thought process. The mundane mind is very active here. Then, to realize this, you need this, the awareness nature. That's why to meditate, you must come back to here. So what happens is, from the source, or your true nature, the first thing to come out is the pure awareness. And this one, very difficult to detect. Because living being has been so used to the thought process ever since birth. All the, what they call, the conditioning that you receive as a newborn baby until you become a child. All this create the thinking process, the identification. So this mundane mind, from the pure awareness when you are born, straight away manifests and become very strong. More and more, more and more, more and more, until you develop knowledge, accumulation of the brain, to see all this, the phenomenal world of consciousness and form, the external phenomenal world. So once you see this, your senses become outward, preoccupied with the external manifestation. Then you fail to have the awareness to come back to here. So this awareness, coming back to here, the pure awareness, is not easy. This is what meditation is all about. You must understand meditation. And this one is awareness-based. So without this awareness-based meditation, you cannot come back to here. When you cannot come back to here, you cannot be aware from inside. That's why the inner awareness, this inner awareness is very important. This inner awareness, or what they call mindfulness. So this one is sati. So our fourth support is to bring you from outside back to here. Then from here, aware, outward, to develop the understanding of what is going on, to awaken, Kempalok. So this is how you have to understand it. Then when you meditate, you will understand why I advise you to develop the awareness-based meditation. It's to bring you back to here. Otherwise, you can't start. And this is where the first hallmark of Huining is. Understand? Wu Nian, without thought. So this is where the first hallmark of quickening is. So this first hallmark of quickening is very important. The state of no thought. And this is also the silent mind. So this no thought is also the silent mind. Silent or meditative mind. So hopefully, with all this understanding, you will know how to meditate. When there is this inner awareness, means throughout the day when you live life, you must be aware from inside out. Means the awareness nature is aware. You're seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, all. When you're aware, you don't think. Understand? But when thought arises, your awareness can see the thought. Understand? You're supposed to develop this awareness, which this is what sati is all about. So the four foundation of mindfulness, kayanupassana, awareness of the kaya. From this inner awareness, you aware of your physical kaya movement or activity, internally, externally. Then after that, your feeling that manifests from within. You also mindful because you are aware from inside. So whatever feeling arises, you don't go to the brain, understand or the memory. The triangle I remove already, the senses there where the 5 degree of form of mind is. If you go to the memory, then you are not aware. When you are aware, the memory got no power over you. That's why you don't act according to memory. So awareness is very important. Sati is very important. So without this understanding, it's very difficult for you to develop the progress of meditation. That's why most people can't do it. So most people end up accumulating a lot of knowledge. But when you do it correctly, with the right understanding, this sati becomes most important. The inner awareness, or you call it mindfulness. When you are aware and mindful, you are without thought. Then you can understand. Then the whole movement becomes different, becomes clear. Okay? So I read on. So fast, we are 40 already. I haven't covered your one unit code. So to meditate is not to create more thoughts. So by now I think it's clear. Instead, what you need, see, the unit code says sati, the silent mind. Why do you need the silent mind, the inner awareness, the sati here? So that you can observe, isn't it? Observe what? The reality, truth, which is the essential Dhamma, understand now? What the Buddha taught. Can follow? Yeah? So I read to you again. To meditate is not to create more thought. Instead, you need sati, the silent mind or the meditative mind, like what I have written here, to see clearly the essential Dhamma, to understand who you are and how you function as a human being, and to understand clearly the paticca samuppada, the law of dependent origination, or the 12 things. So this is most important. When you can understand this, then you understand meditation. So now you start to develop the understanding that this whole process that I have just described, although only one unit code, is not easy, understand? The first understanding of the inner awareness, or to develop the mindfulness, the awareness, to meditate is already so difficult. After you have developed this, that's why I say when you are able to be mindful in the midst of life, you remember last time I used to say that is only the beginning of real meditation. Understand? When your daily mindfulness is very stable, established, that is the beginning of real meditation. Why? Because from here only you can observe and insight in the phenomena and develop the total understanding of what is going on. The whole essential Dhamma. all of the things that the Buddha taught you, you see them from here with the inner awareness. That's why without sati, you cannot be heedful. And the heedless are as if dead. You need sati. You have to start from here. The first hallmark of awakening is to shortcut everything. Understand? Straight away, shortcut the thought-based everything. Straight away take you to your true nature, your true mind. From here you start, you save so much time. Now you understand. Otherwise, a lot of people are trapped in thought-based. Understand? Trapped in knowledge-based. Trapped in using the mundane mind to think and to meditate. So this understanding is very, very important. Once you understand, you're able to develop this. Don't try to be in a hurry to progress. Forget about it. Get this right, understand, then stabilize your awareness nature here. Once you stabilize, once you stabilize your awareness nature here, then you will progress very fast. Everything will just unfold. The understanding everything. Technically, you don't need a teacher. With the awareness nature, the Buddha already explained. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless. The heedful never die. The moment you have this awareness nature, ever mindful, stabilized, you are destined for enlightenment. You will understand, you will progress. So do not be in a hurry to progress, do this, do that, run everywhere, try everything, but finally you don't have the clear understanding. That's why I said meditation has to be done with understanding. When you understand, you do very fast. Like Huineng. You understand, you do straight away silent. That is your true path. Then from there, you can understand a lot of things. That's why Wu Nian, that one is your awareness nature, your true mind, your silent mind, your meditative. From there, you can meditate. You can observe. You can insight in the phenomena and awaken. Then the whole teaching, that understanding is the real wisdom, not knowledge. That one can transform you, awaken you. Then you know how to act. Then wisdom is connected to here. Then wisdom is at your pure awareness there. That's why I used to draw. The pure awareness is the inner nature. From the source come out, the pure awareness. When you awaken, then that wisdom that comes from the direct seeing, the awakening, will be connected to that nature. It's no more from memory. So that wisdom which is connected here, that one is yoniso manasikara. Is within your nature. That one, no memory involved. No need to remember. No need to think. Nothing. You have means you have. You don't have means you don't have. So when it's developed, awakened, when you have the understanding, no need to remember. It's always there with you. Then whenever, through the five aggregate of form and mind, you perceive the phenomenal world, at the moment of sense experience, yoniso manasikara, wisdom will actually spontaneously arise. Then you know how to act. You know how to live life, understand, and create the appropriate movement. Means you have the understanding of what this creation is all about. And because you have the understanding, you can reverse everything and stay here. Okay? 明白? Okay, I think we have to end here already. You got any question? You can ask. So I read one more time, this unit code number 76, which is very important. To meditate is not to create more thought. Instead, what you need is the silent mind or the meditative mind, the awareness before the knowing. You need this sati or mindfulness or awareness within to see the essential Dhamma, means all the essential Dhamma that the Buddha had taught us. To understand who are you, Who are you means understand the five aggregate of form and mind. Understand? No? That you are the human being. I mean, this life we are born a human being. So when you understand who are you, then your problem of birth, old age, sickness, and death is gone. Like what Sakyamuni Buddha came to realize under the Bodhi tree when he became enlightened. He left the palace is because he saw the four signs. A sick person, an old person, and a dead person. Then when he was told what they are, he realized he cannot break free from these three things. Yeah, if he live life long enough, he realized he will finally get old, get sick, and die. So he got no answer to this. That's why he followed that samana, the holy contemplative, to go and meditate, to develop the wisdom. Then underneath the Bodhi tree, when he awakened, he realized the form and mind is not him. That's why old age, sickness, and death does not pertain to him. It pertains to the physical body. Understand? Where that physical body goes the way of nature. It makes of element, no knowing. And the mental part also same. Also go the way of nature, exhibit the same universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. That's why after that, his problem no more. Then he understands clearly the form and mind is a form and mind, karmically conditioned out, a vehicle and tool for him to come to this existential world. Not real, not what he is. So that delusion gone, he liberate, he free. Then the next one is how you function as a human being. The Paticca Samuppada, last Thursday I already taught you all. Huh? How from ignorant, avijja, pacha sankhara, the dwelling. So all this, if you really develop the understanding of it, you will appreciate how wise the Buddha is and how beautiful his teaching is. That's why it's so amazingly beautiful and wonderful, the teaching. So how you function as a human being, I will not repeat it because last Thursday we already gone through the dwelling, paticca samuppada. When you are aware, mindful, you will see them. How the mind, through ignorant delusion, wanting to know, wanting to experience, it will create the thinking. Then when you got no more delusion, actually you hardly think. You only arise the thought to live life. You does not create thinking through the delusion or ignorance. That's why the Arahant, when they realize Arahantship, when all the 10 factors are severe, they cannot die ignorant. They cannot die with the last thought moment with avijja. No more. Yeah. Because no more avijja. So that's how the mind can free. Okay, now we can continue with our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question you may have, or Dhamma sharing, Dhamma in daily life. You who got any question that you want to ask, you can, or report your meditation, or today's sharing. Today's topic is quite interesting, the unique code.
Brother Mr. Steve Organ
晚上好。
Brother 今天晚上的 talk very very beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful,
Yeah, full of joy. 刚才我一听到你把那个第4个的那个10个画到那个第2个，
哇，整个好像醒过来这样。
对，整个今天你的这个 explanation 是很 clear 的一个 understanding.
Correct, yes. Because it actually summarize and show it to you clearly what I have been sharing to you all in the past. And today one is the most complete one. I cover everything.
Especially Brother 你刚开始的时候，你从那个 thought 那边
no thought，对，
这个让我想到以前我每次也是 lost in the thought。
对，
以前我每次跟 Merkel 你在做这个 reporting 的时候，你都讲 wrong is a thought。
对
But that times 我不能够明白。
你不能够明白
对。
所以我记得那个时候我 hint 给你很多次 ，it's still from the thought，要去 silent 到 very very quiet to see it，because all these are still from the thought。你的 worry 啦，你的 anxiety 啦，你的 so called why still like that 啦，the question all from the thought。所以现在你明白了，因为 without awareness 你看不到，它怎样出来弄你弄到like 一个normal thought based with knowledge based cultivator creating those questions. That's why I remember I used to tell you initially when you still have a lot of questions, means you still cannot understand. Otherwise later on, when you understand already, the question like all gone. 就好像没有 question 了，没有什么东西好问了。But initially, a lot on. I remember that early, even after he went to Rayong, come back that time, because that time he just connect, not long. Then that habitual movement from the thought is still active behind. That's why 那个时候那个conditioning from the thought 不容易 root out。That's why I say Sakaya Ditti, self-delusion, you don't think it's easy. In fact, to realize the first stage of sainthood is not easy. Sakaya Ditti. The complete understanding that this is not you at the mind level means the mind doesn't have that delusion that this is you. You try and see. Not easy. That's why a lot of people don't understand. To root out that one, you need the awareness to see and wake up. 就好像你讲醒过来，then you realize all those things is from the Sankara thinking that trigger of the questioning. 本来无一物originally there was nothing How can the dust arise? The dust are all created by your Monday mind, your thinking mind, your thought. 分别心the labeling. The naming, all these are the ones that actually created reality out of the unreality. The phenomenal world of consciousness is actually unreal, but the mundane mind, through their delusion, through words, through concept, through idea, through labeling, created the identity and the reality. That's why the 整个那个existential world 的境界现出来了，就好像 very real 的，哇 like everything is so real. So human beings, they will continuously grasp and cling. Yes, everything is like so important, so beautiful, so real. They want to own, they want to possess, they want to have. Then the craving, the desire, through the delusion, they keep on chasing, fighting, trying to grasp and cling. Then the ego becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Then they want to dominate the world, they want to control the world. They want to do a lot of things, not knowing that they themselves is impermanent, no reality. If you yourself also not a reality, how can you own things and have things? Like what the Buddha said. Okay, good. And you continue.
因为今天的这个 meditation 很静，
很静
对
，very quiet,
very quiet and still.
still.
所以我做到最后，我有一个怎么样静？你过后一出来的时候，你一再 share 这个 Dharma
那你就了解了。
对，especially 你一讲到那个 thought，哇，我就 connect 回以前我的那个 conditions，
对，
我的那个 mind stage。 好，然后那个 contents 哇，很多的 word，
对对对对
啊，很多的那个
对，
angle，就是
啊，
很
是咯，
多那种evil root 在里
对对
面，
对，
然后这个 evil root 就一直 trigger off 你，然后你就每天抓着，你是 lost in the thought，一直走不出来。
对，
哦，等下就很多的问题，很多的 questions，
对。
然后刚才你一 explain，哇，我完
所以
全
醒过来
啊，
，because when you understand that you are here with the awareness, that's why 我以前 give you a 公案，you remember? When you meditate, you contemplate, you reflect, without thought, who are you? Especially when you are in that state of awareness, no? Without thought, who are you? You will come to realize when you are here, that nature got no word, nothing. You are nothing. You are nobody. Understand? You are just that one. The awareness nature inside. It's just a nature, no. 它不是一个人来的，你知道。It's not a being, no. It's not somebody exists inside there. Somebody talk, somebody see. No, nothing. Because this is just a nature, like your karmic nature, a nature. And this nature is from the source, come on, no. It's very powerful. That's why the awareness nature is the one that is way beyond the thought. This one, the awareness nature, is what in the field of science, like the speed of light, we think is very fast, isn't it? But when you understand the universe, we are talking about world system that are how many thousand light years away? We are talking about 15 billion or 16 billion light years away. To travel at the speed of light, it takes you 16 billion years. No? So how can the thought, which is so limited, manifest the ability to know all this? That's why you need the awareness. The awareness is like there is no such thing as limit to that speed. Understand? That speed is like instantaneous, no gap one. When you are in the state of awareness, you are in the oneness. Understand? In the oneness means what? You want to be anywhere within the oneness, you can be there. That is what the Surangama Sutta is all about. The Pure Land teaching is all about. Within what they call a small mode, M-O-T-E or what, I forgot the spelling. Within that span, the whole universe is there. When 你了解的时候啦 where this nature is the oneness nature, the whole universe is there. That's why this one is like the Buddha's mind, omniscient. You want to know, you can know the three periods of time, past, present, and future, and the whole movement, everything. But to realize this is not easy already. Once you realize this is just the beginning, and to understand the depth of this, that's why you need the training of the Sammasambuddha, the 10 perfection, to realize the oneness nature, that final one. That one that can manifest with the understanding one. That one need all the perfection. Without all the perfection, you cannot become that one. That's why that one, only that life when they become a Sammasambuddha, they can. After that, even though they have the Buddha nature, that nature, the spiritual nature, they can come back. Like a Bodhisattva, they can come. But they cannot have that manifestation of the Sammasambuddha oneness understanding. Not only realize the oneness, the understanding. That one, they can only do it when they become the Sammasambuddha at that time. Like 释迦牟尼佛2600年前. Because that is a very unique occurrence. 每一个 Sammasambuddha can only have one. Understand? That's why in the sutta it's not wrong. When they say the Buddha declare under the paeons of joy, remember? Paeons of joy. Remember? This is my last birth. He said, thy laughter has been shattered. Avijja, your rich bowl has been shattered. So I have seen you. This is my last birth, he declared. Which is correct. As a Samasa Buddha, this is last birth. But that doesn't mean that he cannot come back. He got the Buddha nature, he got the karmic nature, he can still come back. But no more as a Samasa Buddha. 明白吗? Okay, 你 continue. Very good.
Brother 刚才你一讲 from 这个never take
phenomenal world
from 这个第四个的circle 去 train 你的 mind 去 meditate 去 train 这个 awareness base
to take you back to the awareness base
对去到第二个的 cycle 然后 stabilize 在第二个 cycle 了以后再从第二个再出去essential Dharma
从这边去看
yes
不是在这边盯来盯去没有用的这边在这边就是Sankara Sanya through the triangle 你 go the wrong direction 这个是 the other side on the direct seeing one so 这个是 can see things as they are then 你看到全部清清楚楚咯 that's why 你悟到你 awaken 咯If I don't explain, it's not easy, I tell you. Even share 了这么久，这么多年actually to understand all this is not what people think 不是一个 like knowledge thing that you can understand overnight, you cannot. 要真正的去修。Go and cultivate, develop the awakening, the realization. And then, 你就 appreciate. Then you can see, the beauty of all this. That's why the training, the teaching, that is actually without words, to have the ability to put it in words, demand a lot of understanding. Your understanding has to be very stable. Otherwise, you cannot come up with all this. A lot of all this, I developed my own understanding to use word to actually explain. It's not easy. So 现在慢慢你们就可以 have the ability to appreciate, comprehend, understand. Then from now onward, that's why 好像 the previous Thursday I said, you all will transform very fast. You all will develop the understanding very differently. 以前我不能够这样 share because you all don't have the stability of the initial understanding yet. So without that, very difficult. If I go in, you all cannot follow. But now I realize a lot of people can follow. A lot of people can follow.
今天嘛，就你的这个 talk， 如果是我们在每个 cultivator 很有 faith， 在 continue 的去听 attentively， 去了解了以后，他真的能够 cut short
the whole training，
对那个 training，
不用走那个冤枉路，no need to like go Holland and get lost。
人就刚才你一画那个第四气第二的那个，
他好像 awaken 起来straight away because that one very powerful. Because the whole understanding is to realize this. You cannot come back to this and aware from inside, means the direct seeing not there. The silent mind that is developing the understanding is not there. This one can insight into phenomena, can awaken, can see things as they are, can realize the truth. But without words one 他那个 awareness 很奇怪的他能够悟到的 the Mandarin word 悟understand awaken it's not through the thought process one 不是一个 knowledge 来的知道这个真的是悟到了不是不会明白不是不会明白 you see no sorry you must understand this awakening 你看慧能他没有 education 吗 he no need education one no need knowledge one But because he born without the mundane mind, he born here one no. That's why from here, he hear truth, he see truth, he awaken on. You ask him to describe, maybe he cannot describe. But he know what that thing is. That's why the moment he met the fifth patriarch, 红人啊，是吗？是红人吗？ The fifth patriarch. The fifth patriarch just explained the Diamond Sutta to him only, He straight away came to great awakening, At which part he came to great awakening? When the fifth patriarch mentioned about the mundane mind, he said, this mind, you must learn how to use it and not deluded by it. He straight away knew everything is from here. He said, how? That's why after that he replied, how amazing that this nature is perfect by itself. 什么都不缺了的。That's why 心经里面有讲吗？不增不减不什么 ，everything is the unconditioned. That's why when he realized that, 慧能there is a missing puzzle. Understand? 不是说 what you mean is like a baby, if he don't meditate, of course, he can have this mind when you are born, but he cannot understand. That one is different. But when you have this pure awareness, even you don't have the Dhamma knowledge, not important one. The moment he is here, like Hui Ning, he will awaken one. He only need people to explain. Understand? That's why my mission here is to share all this understanding that my nature has gone through to cut short. This is what Maitreya want me to deliver to the world this life. 请你把正法传下去. So this is the one. When you are here, you are completely not here and not here. Understand? That's why you are with that nature. And that nature is not thought based on no. That one can awaken one. That's why I say a lot of people don't understand what that awareness nature is. This one is very powerful, way, way beyond the thought. The thought, speed of light, he already count him already, understand? To them it's very fast already. But his awareness is way beyond the speed of light. It's from the oneness. That's why it can be anywhere in the universe, even 15,000 billion light years away. Spontaneously, one moment, the same moment, you will be there. So this is what the nature is. This nature is the oneness nature. That's why if you return to the source, of course, this one, because to come as a living being, not necessarily a human, to come as a living being, you need a karmic nature, remember? With that karmic nature, you got a form and mind, the vehicle and the tool. Then you meditate. Then you connect to that nature. Understand? So when you connect to that nature, this is the nature inside. Without a form and mind, you cannot connect. But when you connect to this one is way beyond the thought process. That's why this one, if you perfect yourself until Sama Sambuddha, even as great being, a lot of things you understand one. Normal human being cannot understand. So this awareness nature, most meditators, if they don't do awareness-based type of meditation, they hardly touch this one. They only have moment to moment, like the sainthood way. Certain moment of awareness, but not stable one. Then they haven't located the gateway. Once you locate the gateway, this awareness nature transform again. That's why the Pusa Tawa is way beyond the sainthood way. Because after you locate the gateway, that is the beginning of the Bodhisattva journey, and that one is the beginning of the understanding of this awareness nature inside there. And that one is way beyond what the normal awareness can understand. And that one, when you're able to do, the mundane mind will collapse. Then, supramundane mind, that nature will arise. Then that nature will shine forth. It's in the new book. But till I send to you, you receive. So that one you slowly go through it. When you're free, I know you're very busy recently. Yeah, Pamasuri told me. So, like today also, I think, because of traffic also. So, don't worry, take your time, we still have a lot of time. Then later on, because我下星期那本书 I realize after I do what they call the transcript, I edit the what they call the Kayamita, they do the draft, then I edit. Then I realize, I explained in the beginning, there are two types of awareness. Then I describe one only, the normal one. Then I add in the second one, which is when you connect to this one, when your supramundane mind surface after the mundane mind collapse, that supramundane mind awareness is not the ordinary awareness, sati. That one is without what they call, without the mundane mind. Means like the whole sky, the sun rays shine forth because the cloud, everything that obscure, disperse already. That type of sati, that type of awareness is completely different from the normal one. That's why the second one, very few people can develop it, unless they are great beings or cultivator of the way that has gone the Bodhisattva way. Otherwise, they cannot develop that one. So, under the normal pure awareness, there are two modes of awareness. One is specific phenomenal awareness. The other one is the spacious awareness without a center. So this one also, if you go the sainthood way, you will only see the specific phenomenal awareness. Then the spacious awareness without a center, they may have a glimpse of it, but they don't know what that thing is. They cannot relate back to the oneness nature, the source. But once your mundane mind collapses, you can. Then you will know what that thing is. So 它很不一样的。So two modes of awareness, two type of awareness. The mode is the awareness. When you have the awareness, you can have specific phenomena or spacious awareness without a center. That one, no thought one, just awareness. But the supramundane one is different. That one is the two type of pure awareness. First type is ordinary. Those who do the sainthood way before your mundane mind collapse on. That ordinary one. The second one is you go the Bodhisattva way when the mundane mind collapse already. Then the supramundane mind shine forth. The supramundane mind 起来的时候它的 mundane mind 没有了 It's like all the cloud, everything dispersed. There's nothing to block. Then no need to do mindfulness or awareness. That nature shine forth. 就好像那个太阳的瑞没有 obstruction 的，整个亮亮这样 shine 出来。When you are in that state, you can see everything very clearly. That's why I told my wife for 1 week I was so amazed. How come like that? Nothing has changed. Why last time cannot see? Now everything is so clear. That's why I use that word. For those who see, they always see. Because truth is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. Why can't you see? For those who see, they always see. When you are with that supramundane mind, when it actually manifests, everything becomes so clear. So that one, how to explain to people? Because that time I can't even try to explain or share. I just use the word supramundane mind, finish. Then I cannot explain anything else beyond that. It's completely way beyond what people can understand. But now, because of the book, more and more people can understand. That's why I have the condition to share. Like in the early days, I told you all in the retreat, you remember, no? the handful of leaf that the Buddha mentioned, the thing that he know is actually way beyond that. The handful is the sainthood way, understand? No? The one beyond the sainthood way one. That's why I told you all last time, I remember I hinted you all. There are so much more things that I cannot teach because you all are not ready at that time. You remember? Then 后来慢慢你们了解了，就慢慢那个提醒就出来了，就慢慢出来了。但现在又不一样的东西出来了。So all these are meant to be. That's why I realize the Kayamita force, the nature's movement is very strong, very different. So 如果真的 the next retreat, by the time the next retreat, 真的 a lot of you all will become very different. 但是那天我跟爸爸师讲，3-5年了，2-3年了，这么快啊？不是3-5年了，2-3年就很快了。英币也听到啊，2-3年了，有可能的，otherwise 又要3-5年了，要了解到这个境界要3-5年了，earlier on one maybe 2-3年就可以谈天。谈天了没有？谈天说地有这样的saying吗？谈天说地got such saying. I thought 谈天了。Then that time we have Chinese tea, we have our meal, we have our spiritual trip. We talk different. No need explanation. That time like mind to mind 通了的，全部通了的，是everywhere also Then that whole of the Dhamma, that's why like I said, truth is everywhere, Dhamma is everywhere. Why can't you see? For those who see, they really see. And 它不是一个 knowledge 来的，它是一个 nature 的 awakening 来的，它真的了解Then you can really express the understanding, the joy and all those things. Then the sharing become very different. Okay? Continue.
我觉得这4个circle 真的是很
amazing. 很 amazing
就我们每一个礼拜一直在从不一样的 angle 一直去 explain， 然后去看它。
对。
把今天这个这样子从第4去到第二really
那个真的 like 一个 sudden shift of understanding
对，很 direct。
因为 before 你们做到那个 pure awareness 我 explain 没有用的，你们也无救。But 你做到那个了even not very stable yet at least you know from there you aware outside then 你的 cultivation becomes so different Means every time you are with the true mind like Hui Ning said, the first hallmark of Hui Ning, 无念 unless you can be there all the time, you haven't started the real meditation. 以前我跟你们讲了 unless you are aware, you have not have the ability to do the real meditation. Because 从这个 true mind 真心，你才能够 insight into all this, develop the understanding of all this movement activity. That's why the 五蕴 become very clear to you. Then how they actually delude you, become grasping aggregate. 你为什么会去制作去 grasp, 去 cling? Because this one is the one that actually lure you. Understand? You know what is that word lure or not? L-U-R-E. 华语叫什么？Yeah, correct. 引诱this word. 这个真的会捉你引诱引诱it lure you as if everything is so beautiful, so real, so enticing. The other word is enticing. Enticing. This word is also very useful. Good. You can actually sum it up another 3 minutes. That's all.
这个布达的布达他圆满他自己来度众生。
对，
这个他的这个 understanding， 他的这个他的讲他的这整个
智慧无量无边，真的无量无边，
真的是无量无边。刚才 brother 你一这样子 share， 我就感觉到哇，这只是一点点吧，他 so deep，so profoundly，
it open up the whole understanding。
整个像整个的那个 understanding，
那个 nature with a lot of joy like 开了 suddenly awaken。
就是觉得哇，他的这种Buddha Dharma 的这个的不可思议，
对，不可思议，
真的他的那种
对，
他的 power。他真的是能够让一个lost in the samsara、lost in the thought 的人，
对，
一个很 deluded 的人，一个很 egoic 的
醒过来，
整个人的。如果你 understand， 你有去 cultivate， 他能够就这样子 turn over，
对
from 一个 healers 的人变成一个 sainthood 的人，
对，
哇，非常的 beautiful。
是咯，因为玄花也有讲啊 ，it's just like the flip of the palm。You remember? He always uses this example. He said, 你还没有开悟的时候就盖着，你开悟的时候就转过来过来。Nothing has changed, no. Everything remains the same, no. But 转过来了 means your supramundane mind is there already. Means everything becomes so clear to you. Then 那个无明全部 all gone. Then 整个you felt 有这样的东西了，为什么会这样？That's why you become very amazed. I used to tell my mom, how come like that? 整个我坐在那边3、4天just amazed at how come like that? 能够有这样的事情 happen can be like that, the clarity. But nothing has changed. Before that, the world was still the same. But how come after the mundane mind collapsed, 这个 nature 起来了 suddenly for almost 3、4天everything, every moment, every instant, the characteristic, the nature, everything is there. Like 整个宇宙你看到清清楚楚这么奇怪That's why I also that time she also cannot understand. But I just told her, I said, like, how come like that Because that was the first time it happened to me. I also don't know what that thing is. Until much later only, I realized it's the mundane mind. Yeah, after that whole layer of consciousness dropped off, I realized that mind that have a lot of image not there already. Not there already. I cannot find, like inside me no mind, But I reflect and contemplate, how can we no mind? No mind, how to perceive? There must be a mind, that's all. But all the gross images, feeling, the aggregate, the grasping are all gone. They all become pure, very fine. Then 好像没有 mind, but 你又能够了解东西Then later when I become normal, I realize without that mundane mind, yet this mind is so beautiful. That's why I told you all, I had to learn how to use this mind. You remember? And 这个 supramundane mind at first 我还不了解的时候I thought I had to train like the mundane mind. Actually 那个家我都不用 train 了呢。That's why later on only I understand. Then I used to hint to you all. That mundane mind is very easy to train. To train that mundane mind is so easy. But to leave that supramundane mind, I tell you, that one you need a lot of wisdom and understanding. And I went through myself. Inherited from the past, of course. Otherwise, I cannot understand. Then I realized the understanding keep on unfolding over the years. 89年到现在啊，30多年了啊，它 keep on unfolding 啊，that's why I use the word unending. Wisdom is unending， 真的 ，because through that one 呢，你能够了解很多东西的哦，不停的哦。That's why truth is everywhere, Dhamma is everywhere. That nature becomes so different. Then 那个时候 nobody to talk to. It's just like that. But it has its causes and condition behind. That's why after that, not long, I think Kuan Yin came, Maitreya came, the message came. That's how all these things happen. Then a lot of things later on. That's why I use the word, you think it's fairy tale. The real happening is even more fantastic than fairy tale. Fairy tale is actually nothing very special. This one is really amazing, really. That's why 那个Heart Sutra, 真空妙有 really wonderful and amazing. That one is very true. Okay, we better end. Sorry. Okay, 你 summarize 还有什么？
最后要谢谢 Brother 你一直不断的一直在 guide 我们，一直在 share 这些 Buddha Dharma，能够 cut short 我们的很多的这个cultivation，然后还有Brother 你的 nature 的这种 sharing bring for a lot of 这个 understanding 给我们。真的要谢谢 Brother。这么多
Also thank your own good karma for having the condition to hear all this. Is also meant to be. There's a lot of you Kayamita, like I say, you have your past. Don't underestimate your nature. For you to be born a human being during the sasana to receive such teaching, 你们是不简单的，真的。But different people give different priority, yes. Different being got different priority. Like they come, they want to experience other thing and do other thing. But those that are serious on, they will move very fast. But actually, no need much. What you need is to adhitan. Take the bodhisattva away and determine. Then plant the seed of bodhi until that right view, right understanding, all this understanding stay with your nature. Life after life. Whenever you choose to come or you have to come, you must have this understanding. And once you do that, your future 全部 taken care of. So 每次你来你不用 worry. Even without sasana 你也不会不见了。That's why this understanding is very important. But this life you must make sure you understand it very clearly. 如果这一世你都不能够 understand very clearly, you don't stand a chance to understand this in future, especially non-sasana time. This is what my nature realized. Because whenever I arise, that understanding becomes very, very clear. That's why this life when I come, I develop the understanding myself very fast. The way I give is the way I receive. Then when I receive, somehow the spiritual nature there, the understanding comes because it has developed the stability of understanding. And because of that, 他有那个因缘法的时候 when there is condition, it will manifest, it will share, it will teach. And all this that come out is from the nature one. Because this brain, this life don't have all this understanding. All this come from that nature. Okay, very good. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. Okay, let's end. Let us rejoice with all the wholesomeness, all the good condition that we have. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us share merits. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa chirang rakantu loka sasana Etta vata camehi sampadan punya sampadan สัพเพเทวาอนุโมดันตุสัพพสัมปติสิริยาอิดังเมญาตินังโหตุสุขิตาหอนตุญาตโยอิดังเมญาตินังโหตุสุขิตาหอนตุญาตโยอิดังเมญาตินังโหตุสุขิตาหอนตุญาตโยเดโวสัตถุกาลินาสาสสัมปติเหตุเชภิโตภาวะตุโลโกเชราชาภาวะตุดามิโกอิมินาปุญญังกามินามาเมบาลาสมากโมสัตตังสมากโมโหตุยาวานิวานาปาทิยาสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to Sakyamuni Buddha, Koyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we will end. Sadhu.